When death whispered my name through the cracks in the walls, I'd lie awake in the pitch-black room, straining to hear if the faint hiss of poison was seeping in from the vents. My own father and stepmother were plotting my demise with the cold precision of a business deal gone sour. What they never saw coming was that I'd rise from the ashes of their final scheme, the sole survivor who turned their greed into their graveyard. Hello, everyone. What a gift it is to share this moment with you today. My name is Amelia Hayes, and I'm 74 years young. I live in Willow Creek, a charming little town nestled in the rolling hills of rural Virginia, USA. It's the kind of place where neighbors wave from their porches, kids play freely in the streets, and the air smells like fresh-baked apple pie from the local diner. So different from the dusty, unforgiving streets of Dustbowl, Texas, where I was born, memories I'd rather leave buried in the desert sand. These days, my life is a true blessing. I run a small community center here in Willow Creek, helping folks with everything from job training to counseling. They call me Auntie Amelia, even though I'm not blood to most of them. It's never too late to give back, right? You should see the smiles on the faces of the young ones when they graduate from our programs or land their first job. My office is cozy, with a big oak desk my late husband, Robert, carved for me before he passed. On the walls, I've got photos of my 4 kids and 9 grandkids, plus some potted ferns I nurture like they were my own babies. There's a framed quilt square from my first mentee, and stacks of thank you cards from people whose lives I've touched. It's not glamorous, but it's overflowing with heart. Community work found me later in life, but my passion for it started young, sparked by the kindness of strangers who pulled me from the brink. I began as a volunteer at a shelter in Houston when I was barely out of my teens, and by 25, I'd earned a scholarship to study social work in Austin. Before that, I scraped by waitressing in Dallas, but it was a turning point that lit the fire in me. Amelia, you were meant to lift others up. I studied through exhaustion, eyes heavy but spirit unbreakable, and God willing, today I get to guide people through their storms. Nothing beats looking someone in the eye and saying, "You're going to make it," and meaning every word. Every life I help rebuild heals a piece of the scared girl I used to be. You get it? My days are straightforward but fulfilling. I rise at dawn, brew my coffee with a dash of vanilla, black and strong, Texas style, whisper a prayer of gratitude, and ask for strength to serve. Then I'm off to the center till noon, home for a quick salad lunch, a nap in my hammock on the back deck. Afternoons, back at it till evening. Dinner with my youngest son, Ethan, who lives nearby, and early to bed for tomorrow's fresh start. It's simple, but packed with meaning. Each thank you, Auntie Amelia, is worth more than gold. And you, my dear viewers across the USA, drop a comment below. Which state are you tuning in from? Is it morning with your coffee in California, lunchtime in New York, or evening unwind in Florida? I read every single one. It warms my heart knowing you're out there, from coast to coast. When you pause your busy day to hear this grandma's tale, it means the world. Let's build a community of hope. But you know, my path wasn't always this peaceful. Today, I lift lives, but once I clung to my own like a lifeline in a hurricane. Imagine waking in a home where you're treated like a liability, drifting off unsure if dawn will come. The child I was endured horrors no kid should face, but she endured. And now, this old soul wants to share how she outlasted her final trap. I was born in Dustbowl, Texas, in 1951, a sun-scorched speck on the map where the wind howled like a banshee and the oil rigs dotted the horizon like skeletal giants. Summers baked you alive, winters chilled to the bone. My mother, Loretta Hayes, was a stunning woman with fiery red hair and eyes like storm clouds, but her warmth was reserved for strangers, never me. My father, Harlan Hayes, worked the oil fields, a rugged man with calloused hands and a laugh that could fill a room. He'd hoist me on his shoulders after shifts, spinning tales of hidden treasures buried under the rigs and wild Mustangs racing the plains. Our home was a modest shotgun house, 2 bedrooms, a kitchen-living combo, and a rickety porch overlooking the barren yard. The roof leaked during rare rains, turning the floors into mud slicks. In the back, a lone mesquite tree shaded my play spot, where I'd dig holes pretending to strike oil, dreaming of riches that'd whisk us away. Life was hardscrabble, but we had enough. Daddy's wages bought beans, cornbread, and occasional treats like soda pop. Mom kept house, her stews hearty if sparse, and we tended a tiny plot of tomatoes and peppers fighting the drought. Everything shattered when I was 7. Daddy didn't return from the rig one evening. A blowout, they called it, an explosion that swallowed him and 3 others whole. They recovered fragments, but not enough for a proper burial. The oil company paid a pittance, and with it went our fragile joy. Mom withdrew into herself, sipping whiskey from dawn, blaming the world, and me, for her loss. If you weren't such a drain, Harlan might have quit that death trap, she'd slur, her eyes glazing over. That's when Victor Slade slithered in. A slick-talking land speculator with a pencil mustache and shark's grin, he started helping with bills, bringing groceries, charming Mom with promises of a better life. 8 months after Daddy's death, he moved in, and Mom called him my stepfather like it was a done deal. Victor despised kids, viewing me as an obstacle to his schemes. That brat's costing us a fortune, he'd gripe. We could be living high without her mouth to feed. Mom nodded along, as if I were yesterday's trash. At school, I was the quiet kid in hand-me-downs, no friends to speak of. Mrs. Ramirez, my teacher, sensed the shadows. Amelia, honey, everything all right at home? She'd probe. I'd nod, terror sealing my lips. What if telling made it worse? Playtime was solo under that mesquite, building forts from sticks, whispering secrets to imaginary pals. Neighborhood kids shunned me, your mom's a lush, your stepdad's a crook. Truth stung, but I couldn't argue. My only buddy was Tommy from down the block, whose dad beat him black and blue. We'd play escape, pretending to flee to big cities like Dallas, where no one could hurt us. That's where my spark for helping ignited, mending his bruises with leaves, vowing to fix broken lives someday. Home became a grind. Up at 5 to fetch water from the pump, stoke the stove, brew coffee. School, then rush back for chores, scrubbing, cooking, tending the garden. Afternoons, I'd haul laundry to the dry creek bed, scrubbing till my hands bled, fearing scorpions more than the labor. Evenings, serve Mom and Victor, eat scraps if any remained. By age 9, I caught their whispers halting when I entered, fragments like too costly or gotta end this. Dread bloomed, something sinister brewed. Then the accidents started. One dawn, lighting the stove, flames erupted wildly, singeing my hair. Victor blamed my clumsiness, but I'd checked the damper twice. Days later, a loose porch step gave way, twisting my ankle, step I'd nailed firm the week before. Klutzy kid, Mom told neighbors, who pitted the unlucky girl. No one suspected foul play. Climbing the mesquite for shade, a branch I'd trusted snapped, sawed halfway through. I dangled, heart pounding, pulling up just in time. Victor chuckled, rotten luck, kid. You're a magnet for mishaps. Childhood turned survival chess. I sniffed food, tested steps, scanned shadows. Nights on my cot in the corner, they claimed the bed, I'd pray to stars visible through roof gaps, Daddy, watch over me. Sometimes I'd wish for angels to swoop in, other times, plot my getaway, too tiny to flee. By 11, escape plans formed, hoard pennies, map routes at school, I bus schedules. Accidents escalated, my dodges sharper. What lurked ahead was deadlier than imagined. Turning 12 in 1963 brought no fanfare, just more dread. No cake, just slaps for forgetting chores. That year, danger peaked. Peeling carrots in the kitchen, I overheard Mom and Victor. That insurance salesman stopped by, Mom said. Offered a policy on the girl. Victor's laugh chilled me, how much if she kicks it? My knife slipped, nicking skin. Plenty, Mom replied flatly. Enough for that ranch in the hills, fresh start. They weren't just wishing me gone, they'd profit from my grave. That night, tears soaked my pillow. How could blood kin commodify a child? Questions haunted, answers absent. Dawn brought the smell, acrid gas from the heater near my cot, valve tampered. If I'd slept deeper. Gas leak. I yelled, bolting up. Mom feigned shock, your nose saved you, I guess. Disappointment flickered in her eyes. Paranoia ruled, double-check everything, eat only self-prepped bites, drink from outdoor taps. School became sanctuary. Mrs. Ramirez noted my jumps. Amelia, talk to me. I yearned to spill, but fear won. Just tired, ma'am. She offered, I'm here if needed. Post-insurance chat, attempts intensified. A roof tile fell while I gardened, grazing my shoulder on a windless day. Glass in my stew, kitchen mishap, Mom shrugged. Worst at 13, washing at the creek after storms, current raging. A shove from behind, Mom or Victor, plunged me in. Help! Water choked, dragged me under. From shore, they watched impassively. Rage fueled my fight. I clutched a root, hauled out downstream, hid in brush. Hours later, peeking, saw Mom grieving 4 neighbors. The creek claimed my baby, like the rig took Harlan. Victor to the sheriff, reckless kid, warned her plenty. Realization hit, return meant certain death. They wouldn't quit. Night fell, I snuck home, grabbed clothes, Daddy's photo, hoarded coins. Paused at their door, Mom snoring, pity mixed with fury. Out the window, trekked to the bus depot, hid till dawn. Ticket to Dallas, 200 miles north, farthest my stash reached. Bus rolling, Dustbowl fading, resolve hardened, I'd thrive, prove them wrong. Dallas hit like a whirlwind, towering buildings, honking cars, crowds swallowing me. At 13, no papers, I spun tales, orphan seeking work. Mrs. Evelyn Carter, diner owner, took pity, or saw potential. You look like you've seen hell, child. Help in the kitchen for room and board? Her backroom cot was heaven, chores familiar sans terror. Tough cookie, she'd say, eyeing my diligence. Weeks in, trust built, I confessed snippets. Ran from bad folks. She nodded, world's full of wolves. Stay sharp. For 3 years, I slaved at the diner, studying nights with borrowed books. Fear lingered, would they hunt? But whispers said they'd cashed insurance on my drowning. Safety bred complacency, my slip. Nearing 16, I felt secure. New ID as Amelia Carter, night school, diner shifts. One market day, buying produce, eyes met across stalls, Victor's shock, then malice. Bags dropped, I fled through mazes, fences, arriving breathless. He's here. Evelyn paled, pack up. My brother in Houston owes me, he'll drive you. Houston? Heart sank, but necessity ruled. Evelyn's kin, quiet trucker named Silas, hauled me south that night. Blood helps blood, he grunted. Houston loomed larger, oil refineries belching smoke. Evelyn's sister, Aunt May, as I called her, lived in a shotgun similar to home, but kind. Evelyn sketched her tale. No prying, but is he bad news? Deadly. She nodded, back door only, low profile. Life turned hermit, helping May's cleaning business indoors, sewing for cash. Suffocating, but safe. Can't hide forever, May urged. Live, girl. Her push, night classes, scarves hiding features. Met Nurse Lila next door, chatting health while hemming uniforms. You eye my stories hungrily. Hospital needs aides, no experience. Fear versus dream, risky. Fear locks you in, keys yours. Applied, got it, cleaning, aiding patients. Loved it, purpose blooming. Dr. Harlan Brooks, Daddy's name echo, mentored, gift for this. Routine set, work days, study nights, May weekends. Fear faded, till 2 years later, he resurfaced. Leaving shift, spotted Victor lurking. No flight, instead, back inside, spilled to Dr. Brooks. He listened, believed, police time. Chief Ramirez, irony, heard, promised probe. Victor vanished pre-arrest. He'll return, I warned. Nightmares raged, gas, water, fire. Therapy suggested, but no, end the source. Paranoia peaked.